We're gonna do a song that you never heard before. The volume.
Here they gonna get wicked. Here we go again.
Ace Kennedy, my brother from another mother, what's happening?
What's good, bro?
Man, I'm excited about this about today, man. So I have been planning to for a hot minute now. Try to put my I've been planning to do some work in the Bel Air, right? And so I finally got I decided that I was going to go ahead and try to do the carpet myself. And I've never done this before, right? But I looked at a couple of videos on YouTube and everything like that, and it looks pretty straightforward considering that really it's not a whole lot to take out the seats in the Bel Air. I've already taken out the seats before. I went ahead and took out the back seat in preparation and everything, though. So I'm trying to go ahead. I'm looking for probably sometime tonight. I'm gonna try to go ahead and pull out the front seat on in there, man, and then go ahead and try to put my carpet on down there, man. Pretty big deal, though, man. My first step to getting my interior right, though, bro. So I'm hyped.
Yeah, that's pretty dope, man.
Yeah.
Pretty ambiguous too, because I mean, when it comes to cars, bro, I do watch YouTube videos and stuff, and if I feel like I can do it, then I'll try it. But if not, I'm not doing it, bro.
Listen, I've never worked on a car ever, right? Ever, and have not did anything since then, with the exception of Billie Jean, though, bro. I wound up I rebuilt the engine, and when I say rebuilt the engine, I got to put a caveat to that claim because the original engine locked up on me, right? So I bought a small block Chevy SBC 350, and I went down to they have Summit Racing out here. Big, it's like the Walmart of racing. I mean, of car parts, right? Big store. And you could go down these aisles, and they have like all of these model engines of how you can set up small block Chevys, and they got 305s, 350s, 328s. They got big blocks, whatever. So while I was going down here, I'm looking at it and I saw how I wanted mine to look, right? So I took a picture of it. And then once I wound up buying the block, I found a guy who was selling it on Craigslist. And then once I got the block, I bought I had the stand, of course, for it. And just probably over 2 years, man, start piecing it together to look exactly like it looked on the actual model. And then, of course, once I got it looking like it, I was like, all right, well, hell, how did I get it to start? So then I had to get with my dude to tune it on up and get it actually running, though, bro. So yeah, but he now, even though it's in there, I don't do nothing to it. I go to him for tune-ups, and all I do the oil changes, and that's it, though.
Nah, that's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Like
Proud of myself though for that one.
Yeah, you own it. I got a friend of mine out here. You actually met him. The dude who owns Off the Hook, the seafood place we went to.
Yeah.
And he was just posting probably about 2 weeks ago saying how Oklahoma car people are haters because, you know what I'm saying, he basically bought his car versus building it from the ground up. And he's like, yeah, and he was like, listen, he said, I don't care what y'all say. At the end of the day, my car had to go through phases to get it to this point. And he was like, so regardless if I built it, he said, I told y'all from day one when I was getting cars, I'm not building mine from the ground up because I don't have that time to do that. He was like, so I paid for mine, but there's still a lot of work and a lot of money that goes into it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So he was just like, y'all some haters. Like, bro, I told y'all from day one, this is what it is. And I'm enjoying myself with the money that I've earned and put into this vehicle or whatever. So it's just interesting, bro.
Let me tell you this, and we got to get this music going. But I'll tell you this, though, man. I will say, feeling like I've built Billie. So Billie Jean is about to be 13 years old, right? I would say that when I bought Billie Jean, it was just an opportunity. It was a cool little lick, and I knew that when I had it, I knew that it was a long term, goal for it. Yeah, long term investment, long term goals, and everything. I knew that because at the time when I bought it 13 years ago, you know what I'm saying, I had just had we just had Landon then, right? So. I knew that I would never, and not never, but in the short term, be able to drop thousands of dollars that it would take to go ahead and do it. So at first, I would do little by little by little, and that's how I've been doing it incrementally and everything like that. And then came across some cool little deals on different things, and that's what determined my phases. But I'll tell you this, I would never do it again. So I'm with your boy. I would buy something that's already running, and then at a minimum, the only thing I want to do at a minimum is swap out the paints, maybe do the guts over, and then you could do modifications, but to build one from the ground up, nah, I would never do it again. Never.
Yeah, cars is a big business, man.
Oh yeah, a lot to go into it though, man. Let's get that music going though, man. I can talk that car stuff. We can get into that all day long though, man.
Try Jesus, not me, 'cause I throw hands. Try Jesus, please don't try me, because I fight.
Listen, if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe to the Slash Brothers YouTube and Facebook pages, because we are live at both platforms at the same time. You can click on the subscribe button so you get the notifications every time the boys go live. Ace Kennedy almost got it out that time.
I know exactly why you tripped, bro.
He needs some milk.
Listen, on another note, shout out to my brother, my other brother from another mother, Ryan. It's his birthday. I believe my dude is probably somewhere on the beach with a drink in his hand, or at least that's what I hope, with a nice little fancy umbrella in it, man, with sand in his toes, though, man. And if I had my air horn set on up, I would. But shout out to PBR for checking in on here as well, though, man. Yeah.
Say, bro, let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Did you ever watch Jackass?
Yes. Yeah.
So the new one hit Netflix I pretty recently, and I actually started watching it. Bro, them boys is wild, bro. Like, they are straight wild. And it was funny because I was watching it, and so Charlie's coming in the room, and I'm hurried up trying to hit pause.
Yeah.
And she comes in, she says, Daddy, why are those humans dressed as elephants? I said, baby, it's a grown-up show. And she just took her tablet and walked on out like,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, they is straight wild on that show, bro. Like, it's just like not safe anywhere on that set. Like, the porta potties, bro, it's just like you might as well just go to the bathroom outside, because you go in a porta potty and they just blow it up, bro. It's
oh my gosh, bro.
It's far worse than that. It's like a train wreck that you can't turn away from, bro. Them boys is wild. And for Knoxville now to be over 50 and still out there getting it in, it's crazy. So
Yo, speaking of Netflix though, man, did you hear about Derek Jeter has his documentary or something like that that's supposed to be on Netflix, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh no, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, so I think it's going to be on Netflix. I believe it's going to be on Netflix, but I think that it's like a 5-part documentary or something like that. But what I think is interesting about this is that they're supposed to be getting into they are supposed to be getting into the rumor, right? A couple of different rumors. One of the rumors that they're getting into is this beef between him and A-Rod, right? They
Mhm.
really, for probably about 15 to 20 minutes, they really get into some of the details about their differences about being on a team. But the other thing, and that's a big deal, by the way, on that
Right.
one, because I think that one of the things that I think that's a theme of this particular documentary with Derek Jeter is the fact that Derek Jeter is very big on loyalty, right? Very big on loyalty, right? But I think that the thing that's interesting to me is that he felt like when he was drafted and Derek Jeter in general, he's like, no, I want to be a champion. I want to be a New York Yankee. When I think that he felt like A-Rod wanted to be a superstar. It didn't matter if he was on the Yankees or not. So that's one kind of underlying undertone of this whole one. But I think that what's also interesting, the other thing that they talk about was Derek Jeter at the height of his popularity, right? There's always been this rumor that Derek Jeter used to, when he would have one night stands with girls, that he was sending them away with a care package. Now the care package was almost like if you got like a Easter basket, right? You know, you can say
A-Rod did that, bro.
no. This Derek Jeter. This is Derek Jeter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Derek Jeter would basically, he would give you like a signed Derek Jeter baseball jersey, glove, bat. Like it was like it was a basket the way they make it seem like is that he kept these baskets by the door. So that so that on the way he got these Derek Jeter sitting off packets though, bro. And I think that they supposedly get into the truth behind that though, man. So I'm looking forward to it just on the strength of that alone, though, bro.
Yeah, Netflix is killing the documentary game. But look,
Oh,
bro,
yeah.
you know what that sound like, though, right?
What's that?
It sound like the game.
There's a game. I didn't hear that about the game.
No. The game, the show.
The game. So
yeah, you remember Malik, right?
Okay, so I always thought that that's where he got
it
that from.
Yeah.
The
Malik Wright experience, and you got the to go package when you left.
Yeah, I always thought I did remember that part of it, but I've always thought that was where they got that from, though, bro. So
yeah,
but yeah, pretty big deal amongst baseball because baseball fans, because I think that in general, baseball fans baseball don't really, baseball people don't really get out there and start to kind of talk about, behind the scenes kind of conversation, things that the public wasn't privy to. It's like everything you typically know about baseball people and players are public, knowledge, and that's it. But you never get anything past that. So
I think that's where the term inside baseball comes from.
What you mean?
Where everything is more in-house, like it's just rumors.
I never even heard the term inside baseball.
You've never heard the term inside? So the definition of inside baseball is like if you get too much jargon, like if we were sitting up here talking about music, right? And we started talking about the ins and outs of how Studio One works and like started naming each component and talking about which reverb we use and how.
Yeah, you're talking about compressors. You listening to it. You listening to some music and you be like, yeah, I can tell he was using this compressor on this to a cast. Yeah, I get that.
That's too much information. Oh, perfect example. When you come on the Marauders podcast and we talking about Star Wars and it's like just completely over your head because we talking inside baseball. It's like we talking about the nuts and bolts, like which color lightsaber and what's the old dude's name and how come he has this, like all of that stuff that you like. Nah, bro.
Yeah.
Luke and Anakin. That's it for me.
Yeah. Yeah, but it should be. I think that this one should be good. So that's one that I am planning to watch. I haven't. There's a few documentaries on Netflix that I've checked out, but that's some of them I've skipped over. They are deep. They got a bunch of them, but that's one that I plan on watching. Though.
Sarah love watching the murder joints on there, bro. She be watching them joints all the time, like the people that that's in jail and they interviewing them, but then they interviewing the families and like what transpired to get them in jail, like all of that. She be watching all them joints, bro. The murder docs.
Yeah, I think that's just like for me, what I found to be my Netflix bag. I have two categories that always catch my attention. Usually it's it's the period specific ones. So like Utrecht, right? I watch almost all of those. The one that I'm surprisingly have been slow to get into is the Vikings Valhalla one on there. It's just
no, that one's hard, bro.
yeah, the first episode is just slow for me. So
you gotta watch it, bro. That joint
hard.
hard.
I got halfway through it and just kind of stopped it, but I still plan on watching it because I actually started watching the original Vikings from the History Channel and just stopped watching that for no reason. So that's one. But and then I've always been a Game of Thrones and all that other stuff. But I think that outside of those, I also like all the drug dealer stuff, all of the El Chapos, all of the narcos, everything. If they selling drugs in it, I'm interested. And I don't know why, man.
You watch Queen of the South?
That's the so I didn't watch Queen of the South, and the only reason why I didn't watch Queen of the South is because Neek started watching it without me, and I never wanted to go ahead and catch up on it.
Yeah, that's on my to finish list because I started watching because I gotta finish Stranger Things, but the reason why I didn't finish the second half of Stranger Things yet, I started watching Terminal List with
so it's funny though, right? So I saw the first episode of Terminal List, right? And I thought it was dope. And then I'm watching it with Neek, and Neek falls asleep on it, right? I don't even know if she actually finished watching the episode. But before I know it, right, she's talking about she's off of saying let's finish Terminal List. And then she's like, all right, let's watch Old Man, the Old Man. Now, the Old Man looks dope. It is dope. We saw the first episode. I think part of 2 I fell asleep on. But we'll hop. And Nikwa has this rule, right? If somebody doesn't die, if somebody doesn't get killed or beat up in the first 15 minutes, nah. It ain't
well, she should then Terminal List should have been right in her bag then.
Right. So we did, but we just for some reason I think that it'd be the timing of it too, though, man. Yeah. It's like when
Terminal List is hard, bro. Terminal List is Chris Pratt's Rambo, bro.
Well, I'm hoping I finished episode 1.
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping, and I told
were you confused with everything that was going on? Like, meaning that like the way they were treating him, like
at first, all the way up until the last like 10 minutes of the episode, I was like, oh, okay, I follow it.
It's good, bro. I ain't finished with it quite yet. I think I'm on like the last episode. But let's knock out these questions real quick. Brittany Rowe, would I do an episode of Jackass for 50,000? I don't know that I could, because the stuff that I'm seeing, there's no way I'm doing it. Nah, I just can't do it. Them boys is just nasty.
I'm gonna tell you this though, man. I'll tell you this. I would do it, but there are some things that I wouldn't do. Yeah. Right. So the things that I wouldn't do anything that has to do with something going in my butt. Because they always seem to get a kick out of those. Firecrackers in the butt, Roman stuff. Yeah, nothing that has to do with private parts at all, though, bro. Right? So that's one
even
thing.
Still some of the stuff, because like old dude was buried in the sand, and they took a crab and let the crab snap his nose, and I'm just like, nah.
Nah, I couldn't do that either, though, man. I mean, I'm not trying to lose, but they've lost teeth. And I'm not trying. Nah. So I guess that would be my answer. Would be no, right? Because there's too much that I wouldn't be doing.
Yeah, there's a couple things I would do. Like they were dressed in these those inflatable costumes.
Yeah.
They were in the inflatable costumes like the T-Rex, but they had like a crab, they had lobsters, they had cows, this, that, and the other. And there's this, so the cast is on these swings, they're just swinging, and you're on these wood blocks, and you're on a pulley, and you're sliding through, and you're trying not to get caught by them on the swings. And bro, they was kicking the dog mess out of them. I'm talking, they was flying in there. I think I would do that one.
You know, one thing that I would do that I don't think was on Jackass, but those the bubbles that you can be in where your
Yeah.
legs. Okay, so one thing that I would do is that you ever seen them do those bubbles, but then they have you at a bullfight with a bull. You out there in your thing, and the bulls can run and hit
It
you.
just
And
hits you. Yeah.
I would do that though, bro. Like, yeah.
Now, is your head inside the bubble too?
Your head is inside the bubble.
It's just your legs.
Yeah, and your legs are somewhat exposed, not a whole lot. And your head, so it's like if you came down,
Yeah,
you ain't gonna like come down on your knees or nothing like that.
Yeah.
And then if you get flipped upside down, that's the only problem, is that if you get flipped upside down and you're on your head, I don't know how you flip yourself back over though, unless somebody comes over and snatch you on up.
Nah, bro. They had the boy Wee Man touch an electric eel and then touch somebody else, and they was both getting electrocuted. I was like, nah.
It's funny. I never even knew if that's funny you said, because I never knew that electric eels, if they hold that kind of charge.
That was the whole experiment, to see if they had enough electricity that could pass from one person to the other. And I ain't gonna tell you how they found out. I just know it was from one person to another. Yeah, I'm telling you, bro, it's interesting. And have I seen Black Phone? I have not seen Black Phone, but I do want to see it. But there's a couple of other movies that I want to see before Black Phone. Fear Factor, I would do Fear Factor as long as there's nothing to do with mice. As soon as you bring out mice, rats, it's a wrap. Like, you might as well not even be my partner, because if there's anything to do with mice or rats, it's a done deal. I don't know if it's that boy Charlie's internet or if it's my internet, but somebody's internet is not holding it down right now. But on my end, he frozen. But anyway, everything else that was in that show, it's just like, I cannot believe all of the stuff that they're doing. And like I said, at the age that they're at, it's one of those things where it's like, you get older, your body just does not recover, which was cool because they had some newer cast members that they brought in, and they had like to prove themselves, and they actually shot the movie during COVID. Like, they started filming a little bit before COVID to basically see if they were going to be able to pull off the movie, and then all of a sudden it got shut down probably in March. They were done for like 7 months, and then they came back and started filming again, which was cool, because it was the first movie. You watch Steve-O's podcast? Yeah, he's I like the guests he has on there. But yeah, they when they came back, they had to obviously get tested and stuff every day. It was the first movie that got back into production when Hollywood allowed people to start filming and stuff again. So yeah, they brought some of the new people they found on like Snapchat and YouTube and stuff like that. Because I actually saw one of the guys that they brought in. He was on Ridiculousness. Like, the video of him was on Ridiculousness, where they showed it on there. There was a guy that was a big dude. He basically put like a vest on that had a bunch of firecrackers attached to it, and that thing just started popping. But he's one of the new cast members. So yeah, it's pretty good so far. It really reminds, because I used to watch Jackass all the time, and then of course the movies or whatever the case may be. So definitely worth the watch if you got the time, because it's on Netflix. So everybody got Netflix. I got somebody's password. So I don't know what's wrong with that boy Charlie internet. Atlanta was supposed to be undefeated on internet. I guess his is gone. Well, we got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about today. We're definitely going to talk about what's going on with the KD trade now that DeAndre Ayton has gotten his deal. If they're even going to still trade KD, we definitely gonna get into some new music because Neo just dropped the album. Justin Timberlake, Pharrell, and Halsey dropped a song today. And was it Carl Harris or Carl? Yeah, I think Carl Harris or whatever. They dropped a song today, so I'm interested in seeing what Charles thinks about that because it does have kind of that that pop beat. So I'm interested in seeing what he thinks about it.
Boy, tell me why I'm sitting here and all of the power. I don't know if there was just a power surge or what, but everything just went off though. So I had to wait for the Wi-Fi to reboot. Boy,
I didn't know whether it was my internet or yours, bro. I just see you like this.
I missed what we were talking. We was talking about.
Just finishing up talking about Jackass. I just basically said, like, you know, I just kind of talked about how they was filming through COVID, stuff like that, and that they brought in some new people since, you know, a lot of them are getting old or whatever the case may be. So
was Bam on there?
Bam was not on there. Yeah, that's good because you know, obviously what's his name passed, but yeah, Bam wasn't on there.
Okay.
Yo, so switching up a little bit, music. Did you hear the new Justin Timberlake Pharrell and them song?
No. I didn't know there was a new song.
It's definitely a summer song. It's probably one that you wouldn't like because it does have a more dance hall-ish vibe, but not like Drake and Beyonce. It's like what you would expect from Justin Timberlake, like the Can't Stop just dance.
I don't mind those.
See, and that's what it's like. And so it's got a cool little vibe to it. It almost has like an old school R&B feel, like one of the older joints, like how Silk Sonic kind of does. It almost has that kind of a feel, but not as deep as old school is like that. But
what is the name of the song?
The song is called
Rocky or whatever.
No, let me see, because it you know that John be popping up on my stuff. It just came out today. It is called.
You talk about Justin Timberlake. Stay with me.
Yeah, Calvin Harris and Halsey, Justin and Pharrell.
That you know it's funny.
What's up?
I don't even know what Halsey sounds like, bro.
You'll hear her as soon as it comes on.
I'm listening to it right now.
Okay, yeah, check it out. But yeah, I like the song. I like Pharrell singing on stuff. It's got a nice, like I said, it's got that Can't Stop the Feeling vibe to me. Something definitely
I can hear that.
Yeah.
And so this sounds like a pop version of a funk song.
Exactly. So it doesn't quite have the dance electro style like Drake and them did.
I'm watching the video right now, and what's crazy to me, it's dog. I don't know why, but Justin Timberlake still gives me that nostalgia feeling to see Justin Timberlake still going.
Yeah,
it's still it looks like this. The one thing I like about Justin Timberlake is that when I do see him,
yeah,
it looks like he's there, like he was just here last week. Like he looks like he never left off though, bro.
Yeah, it's a cool little vibe. I like it.
I could see this as the lead score or theme song for a movie,
like the Minions or something.
Yeah. Okay, I'm not mad about this.
Yeah,
I mean, like this, it wouldn't. I'm not adding it to my workout playlist, but I'm not mad at it either, though.
Yeah, but something else though. The Neo dropped a new joint, and here's the thing. Let me go ahead and say, it's not that I hate on Neo, but I've never been like one to rush out to listen to Neo. But I listened to this Neo. It's better than the Chris Brown, bro.
Okay, listen. Okay, now listen, bro. Okay. Now we talking. I need to talk about this then, bro.
Bro. 2 songs in, and I was like, this is already better than the Chris Brown album.
Listen. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is what I think that's crazy. Okay, so when I listen to the song, right? I mean, when I listen to and this is again, I am biased, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm a big the where I haven't gotten to listen to yet. So he got Stay Down, which I already heard with Trippie Redd. Not Trippie Redd, golly, I'm gonna get Trippie Redd, Young Blue. Where I haven't gotten yet is Trippie Redd. And this is weird because Trippie Redd is one of them new artists that I just was kind of like, no, and for no reason. So I am curious because I did listen to a bunch of the songs, though, bro. And not a bunch of, I listened to a few of the first like 5 songs of it. And I had the first 5 songs on repeat. Now, maybe it's because it's refreshing to me to hear my boy Neo doing this thing, though, right?
Yes.
Refreshing. But I didn't, even though it's been a while since I heard a Chris Brown album, I didn't just go, oh, let me run that back. No, I didn't.
I went to the mall and I was driving, listening to the Neo. I couldn't wait to get back to the car to finish listening to the Neo. I still ain't went back to listen to the Chris Brown. And the other thing, Neo is singing.
Yes.
To the trap beats.
Yes.
Singing to the trap beats. And when I heard it, this is what I was meaning when I said we got to fight, because he's doing exactly what I was talking about. But we ain't getting to that conversation.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay, so this is just my opinion, right?
Yeah.
So I think, just me personally, I think that the Neo song, that You to Love with Jeremiah, is better than all the Chris Brown songs.
Bro, the You to Love is doesn't it give you Computer Love vibes?
Yes.
It's better than
and that came out like last year. But when I heard it last year, I loved it. I was like, oh yeah, my dude is back, right? And then even when I heard the Stay Down with Young Blue, I was like, okay, we back. We still hitting. I see the thing. I love though, right? I love how it isn't heavily featured, right? Like he has about 3 or 4 songs on there that have features.
But the features sound good with him though.
Yes.
Like here's the thing. He has a good mix too of like some old school sounding R&B with the trap style R&B. Like it's like you said, when you say refreshing, like this album sounds fresh, bro. Like it sounds current. It sounds like it's energy. Like I like him talking his stuff, like he's doing his Neo thing. I mean, and of course, you know, I know you didn't really care about this, but like he started writing and doing a lot of stuff for Empire. So this sounds like some of the stuff that Empire used to get, you know what I'm saying? So it just instantly made me smile, like, okay, yeah, this is why they brought the boy Neo in, because the songs from Empire have always been dope to me. But yeah, he killing this, bro.
So I'm listening now to the song that he has with Push Up, right?
Yeah.
And this is just funny. The one with Trippie Redd is Push Up. This is the weird part too, right? Because I just listened to just the first 1 minute of the song since we've been on, and it's already one of them where it's like, all right, I like the Neo part, and I feel like my bias toward Trippie Redd and the new dudes maybe like, all right, I could do it at his part. So I do want to go back and give it an honest listen to though, bro. But I agree with you though, man. Like for what I was looking for what I think is missing with R&B, mainstream R&B. I think that Neo delivers to me though, man. I think that it's very much it is a current sounding Neo, right? I think that it doesn't sound like, you know, somebody be like how Jay-Z was like, if you want my old stuff, go buy my old albums. I think that this sounds like the good old Neo, but like you said, just current though, man. It's dope, bro.
It was, see, his album makes the verses so relevant, because it's like when people saw that verses, people was like kind of doubting R&B, like, okay, these boys, they ain't got that auto tune, they can't really go. And it's like, nah. Since then, we've been getting some dope R&B songs, dope R&B albums, where it's like, nah, R&B is here. Them boys just don't got it.
Let me. Okay, here's what I think is crazy. So I listened to talking about R&B. One of the people who I recently listened to knew was I probably butchered his last name every time I finished listening to the Brent Fayez.
Mhm.
Am I pronouncing his last name right? I think it's Fayez. Okay, so okay.
I know who you're talking about.
Have you where have you heard? Because where I heard him the first time I heard him was the hook on I think it was Gold Glizzy. He's like, I got money all around me. You know I'm a man. Then and get money on me. It's another man. Came out of nothing. I absolutely love that song, though, man. Right. Mm-hmm. And so that was the first time I had heard him. And so when I listened to this album, though, bro, I was like, oh my gosh. Listen,
I haven't heard him personally, but I heard Joe Budden rip.
Oh my gosh, man! Listen.
Joe Budden got a cutout clip of him talking about him, bro.
Oh my gosh! Listen, it was set up to be so dope. When you I'm gonna tell you what I mean. Okay, so he has a Drake feature, right? Mm-hmm. And you would think, oh, this is a Drake feature. This one is out of there. Right? It's forgettable from the standpoint of where this almost sounds like maybe he got an old Drake, right? Like It still sounds like new, but I'm saying that it's like this is the weird part. It's the kind of Drake that I like when you hear Drake rapping to an R&B beat that's about 90 BPMs, right? It's not quite boom bap, but it isn't trap, right? So you got Drake on there just spitting, right? And he ain't just talking. So and it's a dope Drake, but the song in itself, it's cool, right? But it isn't all that. He got a song with Alicia Keys on there, and Alicia Keys is mainly rapping. I thought it had to be old. They had to. I had never heard the song before, so
yeah. Well, I haven't heard anything of his. So I couldn't even. I'm gonna check it out just because Joe Budden ripped it so hard.
He has the song with Alicia Keys, and oddly enough, Alicia Keys is rapping, but she doesn't even actually rap until like the last, she kicks like 16 bars at the end of the song, and then it goes off. Listen, this is the crazy part because when I listen to the album, I actually like his voice. When I say that, I mean that I like his tone, right? I like how his voice sounds. So because I like how he sounds, it almost like that's probably even more the reason why I was just like, listen, man, this isn't better than Slipping Away, man. I'm gonna stop. No cap. It's not better than Slipping Away, bro. And that's the thing that I was like. I was mad because I listened to him, and I think he has so much potential though, bro. Just on the tone of it, he to me, he has the kind of tone that stands out almost like Jeremiah, like a Jeremiah feature. You hear his voice, and it's so distinctive. And part of me also thinks like, bro, are you just gonna be like a hook dude? Because I don't know, bro. It was just lackluster though. And what was Joe Budden saying about it?
Joe Budden just basically said, like, bro, it was lazy arrangement. Like, it was just lazy. Like, he said the production had just like simple cadence, and he was just like, they were like listening to a couple of songs. He was like, bro, I am not hating on this dude. Like, I want him to be successful. But when you have this type of hype and then you come with this project, it was like, that ain't it.
I think it ain't it, bro. It ain't it. And listen, I'm gonna be honest with you though, bro. I mean, this is gonna. I don't mean this in a bad way. I don't know if I mean it in a bad or good way though, bro. But I mean, listen. I mean,
Is it better than the Chris Brown?
It's different from the Chris Brown. It's not that it's better.
Just a different feel.
It's a different feel. Like his content. I'll tell you this though. The one thing that I think that is different, right, is that he's talking different.
Yeah.
Like it's just weird because he's saying things that I've never heard people sing on R&B. That's what I think is crazy though. Like it's so from that perspective, I can see how like Joe Budden might say, "Oh, you know what, man? It was lazily constructed, but his content to me is
well, even Joe was saying there were some parts that should have been auto-tuned that weren't. Like he just weren't hitting the notes on stuff.
Well, you know me, I'm not gonna be the judge of that because who am I to judge on somebody hitting notes? But I'll tell you this though, man. It's not better than the Giveon. It's the Chris Brown isn't better than the Giveon for starters.
No.
And I'm gonna be honest.
But this Neo is giving this Giveon.
Neo is giving listen. The Neo is so far. The Neo is giving the Giveon a run, and the only thing that I say about the Giveon is that the Giveon's the production and the arrangements on Giveon is just so unlike anything else I've heard. And the one thing I can say that I've always liked about Neo is that I've always liked Neo's arrangements, but I was familiar with it. So I think that the Giveon it was new to my ear, and I was like, yo, it was just
they both have that same feel to me though, because like I said, yes. I haven't really listened to Neo like that, right? Like I could, and so for me, this is like, okay, maybe I can consider myself a fan of Neo based upon this album. Like, you know how I've talked about Neo. I've never said a bad word about Neo.
Right.
But it's
you don't give glowing reviews of him either.
No, because my thing is I've always respected his pen. I've always respected his hustle, his fashion, like his lane, everything he does. I've always given him respect on that front. It's just music just wasn't really for me like that. Like he was a notch above John Legend, because you know I don't really rock with John Legend like that. But now some of John Legend's newer stuff I'm liking. So it's kind of like, you know, changing my whole palette, so to speak. So, but yeah, I'm digging this Neo, bro. I can't wait to finish it.
Listen, man, I gotta be honest with you though, man. I mean, it still is, even with the Brent Fires that even though I didn't think the world of it, it still is refreshing. This is the one thing I think that's crazy, right? I think that what's dope about it, the one thing I would say that is, he is talking about something that you could hear somebody doing on a pure trap beat, except that it's just an R&B beat though, bro. I think that's pretty dope. His content is just, he's talking different. That's what I think I think it's dope. Yeah. But but I'll tell you this though, the Giveon, and not to just we've talked about it before, but the Giveon, what I love about the Giveon though, man, is that and even the Neo, right? It's refreshing to me to hear somebody singing about love, because people don't do it very often though, man. Yeah, so I think that's what's real dope about it. It's credible love when I hear it though, man.
Because I mean, you know, we've talked about this several times, but you know, like even my stuff, I've kind of switched from talking about sex and mostly just talking about love. And that's the way I felt the Giveon was. Like it's something you could play at a family reunion, something you can play in front of your grandma. Like it's pretty clean. You know what I'm saying? What you about to say?
I want to say, like, the thing that's crazy to me, right? It's almost like when I think of R&B, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think of R&B from a standpoint of, let's just say, even if you're talking about, let's just say if you're talking about the sex songs, right? Mm-hmm. Like that isn't R&B isn't always what it always has to be about, right?
No, not always.
Right.
But you typically though, it's so easy to write those songs.
So easy though, man. It's because here's my thing about it though, right? I think that's what made R. Kelly so different, because they were sex songs, but they wasn't saying it the way R. Kelly was saying it. Mm-hmm. Lyrically, he had a way to do a lyrical song where he isn't just talking about, oh, let me hit these cakes. So, right. I thought that that's what made his lane of sex music stand out. But I think that when I think when I think about R&B, I mean, there's one thing about it being provocative and even seductive, though, man. But I think that when I love a good old love song, right? My favorite R&B songs are derived from love, and so it's like when all of R&B is just talking about the same thing rappers is talking about, it's just like, all right, dude, well, you know, I can get that plenty of places, though, man. And so I think that that's why listening to the Neo, it feels like somebody who's been through some things, right? Somebody who's really
pretty grown up. Like it ain't, like you said, it's still talking of, it's got the provocative stuff in it, but he ain't saying it in a way where it's like, pull your panties down and let me do this. Like it's very, you know, suggestive. I mean, he's blunt on certain things to it, but I'm just saying it's not just all that. So yeah, I like the direction that the album is going in, man. I can't wait to finish it. So
yeah. It definitely, like, listen, I think that here lately, man, I think that I've been probably more in that R&B bag than I have in any other thing, just because I think these days when it comes to rap music, I mean, unless it's hard for me to gravitate or give somebody new a shot. But I'm more inclined to give somebody new R&B, you know, shot than I am somebody rap, because the competitor in me is going to be checking to see, like, let me see what your bars is hitting for. Let me see how you ride the beat. And I'm more inclined to critique it faster than I would to give somebody a chance for R&B, though, bro.
Yo, did we ever get a chance to talk about the finale of The Boys?
We did not talk about it because I think that by the time the finale came out, you were still on vacay. So we didn't talk about it.
I was here Friday. I was last Friday. I got to tell you about that too. But yeah. What did you think of the finale?
Listen, man, I thought that I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I thought it was kind of safe.
Safe.
Yeah, I thought it was safe. I when I say safe, like I thought that it was.
Before you listen. Heavy spoilers. We talking all the spoilers on here. You ain't seen The Boys by now.
Yeah,
we talking heavy spoilers. Go ahead. So
no, man,
you said it was
when I say it wasn't, the safe thing to do was to not kill Soulja Boy, but to preserve him, right?
You need to, man. You need to keep Soulja Boy. This is why I say that, and I'm gonna let you finish your point.
Yeah.
The reason why you keep Soulja Boy is because you just dropped the bomb that's I was finna call him Undertaker.
Homelander.
Homelander. You just found out that was his daddy. So you need to see, because he started to kind of change where he didn't want to kill his son. You know what I'm saying? So you need that. And then you throw in the dynamic of the grandson. Like you need that for next season. Because now you can spend the time to try to get him out of cryos.
I don't disagree with that. But I'm saying, to me, I think that the thing that's just interesting to me about it when I say that it's safe, because I think the more hard thing to do would have been, like, you can't, because it's still early on, you can't just kill Homelander off, right? But at the same time, you can't introduce Soulja Boy and then kill him off either. But so it's safe to me just from just those 2 points alone to say, all right, well, let's just keep him alive.
They killed a character though. I mean, we lost Black Noir.
No, but he barely counted. He's been in hiding for like 3 episodes though, bro. So
true, but like, I think that's whack, because so in the comics, from what I understand, Black Noir is brothers with Mother's Milk. And they never did hit that connection. If you notice, you remember the backstory where we saw Black Noir without his helmet on?
Yeah,
he was black, and it was originally I think in the comics, it was Mother's Milk's brother.
Listen, bro. Let me tell you my favorite part of the episode that made it seem like this is so much like The Boys is that when Maeve died and they said she was a strong lesbian and she was, dog, listen, man, I fell out laughing when that was the way that they described her, bro. I was dying laughing, bro. I literally almost spit out my drink when I heard her do it, though, bro. It was insane.
Bro, when he pushed her eye in, though, bro, I was like, ugh.
Yeah, he done pushed a couple eyes in before, though, man.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
no, when he pulled out Black Noir's intestines, bro.
Yeah, I thought that was dope. I thought that was dope. See, that's why listen, man, I thought that part was fire. Now, the part that I am kind of curious about, right, is that I'm just kind of curious that if Butcher is dying, right, then my thing is that, well, what's if you're Butcher and you're dying, if you just want to live, what's stopping you from just getting the permanent V?
Well, I mean, I think that's something they can explore in the next season.
Yeah. That's what I'm wondering, but
because I thought Huey was about to take it when he saw saw Starlight
getting tossed up.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna take it and blip in there and get her.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I thought it was a dope episode. But that decision though, bro, that none of the listen, I don't have any problem with the main guys not dying, but I thought that would have been more controversial if one of them would have died. Now maybe it's still too early on in the show for somebody to die.
You're just like this. To be honest, the team is now formed together. Like for this whole time, the team hasn't been together. Even this season, they were so disjointed. Like, you know, Butcher had his own mission. Starlight had her own mission. Like everybody was kind of off. They thought they had recruited like my boy A-Train and all of them, and you know what I'm saying. And
man, listen, I thought A-Train. And listen, this is another one, probably more than Homelander, bro. I think that I hate A-Train, man.
Well, I like that he finally got another heart, though, that he can finally run again.
I wish he did get the heart. I was hoping that he was gonna be the one that died, bro. Like listen, job well done, because I'm talking about the way that he sucks up the Homelander on there. Just it's disgusting, and I'm like, job well done, because you make me believe it, bro.
And you can't kill the deep either, bro. The deep is, you gotta have the deep for the comedy,
oh my
bro.
Gosh,
the scene between him, his wife, and that octopus, bro. That junk was crazy,
gosh,
bro.
Man. I couldn't imagine Neek sitting through a whole episode of The Boys, but let alone the first episode of this season.
No. If she would have watched Herogasm, bro, she would have been like, bro, what in the hell am I watching, bro?
But the first episode of this season,
Sneezegate, bro. She would have been done. But look, before we get on to this Aiton deal, they interviewed the girl Starlight. She said she was on the set of Herogasm, and she said she was trying to get some hand sanitizer, and she was going to go pump on the hand sanitizer, and the cast was like, no, and she was like, what? And they was like, oh no, that's lube. So because they had the scene, and she was about to pump some lube on her hand. Bro, it was, I gotta send you the clip. But,
oh my god,
yeah, I love The Boys, bro. That's my joint. And second on behind that is Umbrella Academy.
Hey, let me ask you this though, bro. Before we talk about this KD, because I can't let this go without saying two things, bro. Did you see your boy Orlando Brown? And I say your boy candidly, but do you see your boy Orlando Brown's comment on Bow Wow, man?
Yeah, and I think people took out of context.
I'm gonna assume he said you've had some good cakes, right?
I'm thinking that he's saying he's got a bunch of bad.
He's got a bunch of bad.
Yeah,
that's what
he has. Yeah.
I hope he is. I hope that he said, but there's been no clarifying statement. But I didn't take it for anything more than that when he said that, though, bro.
Yeah, because for one, we've classically talked about Bow Wow's resume, along with the game, along with what's one boy with all the babies? Nick Cannon.
So, Bow Wow still. I think we would both agree that Bow Wow has a top 10 man resume.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
So yeah. So that's why I didn't even give that any type. And I'm glad Bow Wow just like made a quick statement and moved on. Like, no, just like, look, man, dude,
nothing to see here.
Yeah, he be on that stuff. Just we praying for him, but.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. Listen, one thing that caught my eye from yesterday, I believe it was, bro. So, Rick Ross and Gillie the King. Have you been keeping up with this, bro?
Man, just through the Breakfast Club, bro.
Oh my gosh, bro. Listen, I think the thing that I can honestly say that I like about Gillie's take is that when Gillie gives something, it's gonna be facts
or it's gonna be his opinion with reason for his opinion. He isn't just gonna just say something random. So I guess this goes back a little while where um, Rick Ross had commented about Gillie, and I don't even remember the original comment, but I think that Rick Ross may have said something and it may have been a little slick, and Gillie didn't comment on it until maybe like a week later, a couple days later, when he had the boy from 808 Mafia on the show, and took this whole second pause for him to go ahead and clap at this boy Rick Ross and was like, yeah, I saw you talking on my name. Did you think I was gonna come at you? Whatever. You out here, you out here talking about you a gangster when you just admitted that you was a CO. You was the ones that was locking my dude. You the kind of people that was locking my dude Wallow up, and everything like that. So they had their little spat there though, man. And so I thought Rick Ross's response was hilarious, because Rick Ross responds back. He was like, something.
He said, look, he said, I'm out here with my cows, or something like that. He was like, if I spend more money on my cows' hooves than you do on your wife and kid in the whole year, then you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Listen, why does it here's one thing that I think is crazy, right? Why does, when everybody talk about Rick Ross, they have a Rick Ross voice? Because I knew that's where you was going. I knew. He said something like, by the way, let me introduce you to my bear. Right.
My bear name is Lulu.
Everybody has a Rick Ross voice though, bro.
It's like Vince McMahon, bro.
Yes. Well, what's funny about that is that Gillie does a Rick Ross voice, and it is hilarious because it's spot on. Because Gillie replies back, he was like, yeah, you out here talking about let me introduce you to my cow. I just bought a cow. He said, when anybody who's not from Atlanta know that, outside of your massive, you got a beautiful, beautiful house and land, but it's right outside the hood. So before you know it, the way they doing them breaking entries out there in Atlanta, somebody gonna break out there. It's a matter of time before somebody better jump your walls and better had your cow out there on Old National talking about, we got ribs out here for sale. It's like, what makes it funny is Gillie doing the Rick Ross voice though, man. It is platinum though, man. Absolutely platinum.
And he said, look, y'all can run up. He said, because most of y'all scared and a bunch of peas anyway. So
yeah. I like Gillie though, man. This is a weird thing though. I don't know why, but one of the weirdest things was when I first got on Instagram, right? I think Gillie was one of the first people. He was like, when you try, I don't know how. Maybe he just, when I first got on the gram, and when you knew, they just throw a bunch of stuff out there and see what sticks. Back then, when the algorithm was probably a little different, and Gillie was the first one. I was like, golly, yeah. What is Gillie doing? I wonder what Gillie's doing these days, though, bro. And so he was one of the first people who I remember following. And this is like when I first got on randomly, though, man. So I've been watching Gillie take that and then have that grow from $1 Million Game and him and his cousin Wallow. I literally have been watching them grow their platform from just social media posts all the way out. And it's been dope, but his Rick Ross impersonation is classic though, bro. Classic.
Yeah. Them boys is out there wilding and doing it on social media too.
Yeah. Listen, I found out why, and I'm glad this came. I had to do some research on this one. So you remember we were talking about, how come in the NBA they won't do that deal? Donovan Mitchell to the Nets, KD and Kyrie. No, I'm sorry, KD stays. Kyrie goes to the Lakers, right? Russ goes to Utah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Utah buys him out. Russ becomes free agent, sign wherever you want to.
Yeah.
But Donovan Mitchell ultimately lands with the Nets. And I found out that one of the reasons why that couldn't happen is that there's a rule in the NBA, which I think is kind of stupid, but you can't have two max players from their first max deal from their rookie deals, right? So Donovan Mitchell and Ben Simmons were drafted in the same draft, and so they were eligible for their max extensions in the same seasons, got them the same seasons. And so there's an NBA rule that says that you can't have two of those guys on the same team. Weird.
Yeah, it's a bunch of weird rules, just like, Aiden now. So, you know what I'm saying? The Suns and Aiden been kind of going at it for a minute, bro, where he's been trying to get a deal, an extension, something, and they never wanted to give him max money. And so they basically told him, like, look, go out and find another max deal or whatever. See, because we trying to tell you, you're not worth the max. So the Pacers was like all in. They was like, look, we just got done with this Brogdon deal. So now we can't get you the super max, but we can get pretty close. So that boy and so the Pacers is not one, they don't like to do offer sheets either. They like to get the deal done. They was trying to do a sign and trade with the Suns and could never come to an agreement. So they was like, all right, fine. So they put in the offer sheet. The boy Aiden signed it, and so they had 48 hours to match it, and they had to go ahead and match it because it was like, we can either let him go and get nothing for him, but then we won't have any leverage for the KD deal. But now they have nothing for the KD deal anyway.
Well, so I think the big thing is that, to me, they're basically saying that they haven't had very many people who have been trying to do this war chest of draft picks and key players for KD like people would have thought. Like, I think that everybody agrees that, especially given the Rudy Gobert trade and everything that they got in exchange, that the Nets would be offering more from that, right? Kevin Durant is a more dynamic player. Kevin Durant is he's a made guy, right? So I think that everything, with all things considered, that would be it. But what's crazy about that is that they were talking about like more. Like, I saw something that the Pelicans and the Nets were talking, and the Nets wanted a package that would basically be BI, Larry Nance, and some draft picks. And the Nets, they've been accumulating draft picks for a while. They had some picks for the Lakers. They've had some picks from the Bucks from them trading Anthony Davis. They had them picks from the Bucks from when they traded Drew Holiday. So they got a stash, but they turned it down as well. And there have been more reports of teams that are just saying we ain't trying to give it all up for KD like that, though, man. But with this DeAndre Ayton signing, my question to you, though, Ace, is why exactly are people stalling out on trying to just say, all right, here you go, here's what we got?
Because KD wants to go to a team that's kind of like ready to go, which is why when he asked to go to the Suns, he was like, they got to keep Thickums, they got to keep Jimmy Butler, and they got to keep Bam. So it's a lot. Like, you're asking to basically give you away for pieces, because the Nets want a star. They want some draft picks. They don't want to just be like rebuilding completely. They want to, they know they're not going to have a Kevin Durant, but they still want to be able to be competitive. And so to draw more people in. And so the thing is teams don't have it like that. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, I mean, what's even funnier is the amount of people who show no interest in Kyrie. Like, the only team that wants Kyrie is the Lakers. Right. And so the KD, like, the thing that would make sense for KD almost is to go back to Oklahoma City.
Well, so this is my thing about it. While that would make sense in terms of compensation, right? That would, but here's the thing. If I'm the Nets, now mind you, if I'm the Nets, I'm gonna, if I think that I'm building a team that can contend now, right? And I'm not trying to just blow it all up. Don't you ask for Shea? Yeah, you got to ask for Shea. And if you're Kevin Durant, don't you want to go and play with Shea? So,
well, I would. Here's the thing, and again, I'm an Oklahoma City guy. You're an Oklahoma City guy. I would almost totally agree with that, but I could still see myself putting a team around Josh Giddey. Here's the thing, Giddey could be a starting point. I mean, he does start for us. And I'm gonna be honest, when Shea was out hurt last year, or whatever, we played better as a team with Giddy because Shea is still a shoot first guard. So that would almost put him in the mindset of like Russ. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm going with a Josh Giddy who's gonna set me up, and I got Chet, and I mean, because maybe they include Dort in the deal. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But you know, we got the draft picks or whatever to give up. So it could be a very possible, like if they were looking for logical ways to go, but we would definitely have to get some more veteran presence to help KD. But we would definitely have shooters surrounding him to give him that space though to be able to do what he does. So it could work.
See,
If you talk about like
that,
logical,
yeah. See, I think that for it to work, I think that you would have to basically be blowing up the current philosophy for the Thunder, right? So you would have to find a way to keep Shea Alexander-Gilchrist, right? You keep Shea. You got to keep Lou Dort because he's your best defensive perimeter player anyway, right? Because if you're KD, if you're trying to go to a team that's close, I'm gonna say ready-made, but pretty much ready-made. But you got to have somebody got to play the defense, right? That was their problem when he played against the Nets, right? Nets will cook. I mean, with the Celtics, the Celtics getting cooking them on the outside. So my thing is that you would have to figure out a way that the Nets would be comfortable with just mainly taking all draft picks, and I don't know that they would. So you would have to include Chet.
There was some.
You would have to get rid of Giddy.
No, there's some players like you got Baisley. You got. I mean, we got some people. I mean, there are some people that we could give away that. Like I said, I think Dort would be the like if it's me, I would give up Dort, I would give up Baisley, I would give up Maladon, I would give up some draft picks. I mean, we have
Would you include Chet?
No. Chet's not going anywhere. Chet's not going anywhere. We keeping Giddy. We keeping JRE. We definitely keeping 8-wheel. 8-wheel is the Jalen number 8. Because we got 2 Jalen Williams.
You trying to keep bro. You trying to keep too many people for Kevin Durant, bro. You can't keep all of them.
No. You getting Lou Dort, you getting Baisley, and you getting the draft picks you want.
That's not enough. They were saying, listen, they were saying that they want an all-star level player, right? So Lou Dort is my boy. Lou is he's at least all defensive NBA, right? So my thing is that at a minimum, any deal would include him. And then if I'm the Nets, I gotta at least overreach and say, listen, if you give me Lou Dort and you give me Shea, and then you give me them draft picks, we can go ahead and make this happen. Listen, but then at that point, you got KD with a bunch of young boys, and it ain't gonna work out.
But I'm not opposed. Listen, what I'm saying though, bro. I know people hearing me. I'm saying I like Shea a lot. Like I got Shea's shoes, bro. Like I like Shea. I got Shea's jersey. I ain't bought an NBA jersey in years.
You pretty much got everybody's shoes though. So
no, I don't.
You just don't got the you don't have the the Kawhis.
I don't have the Kawhis. I don't have the Derrick Roses. I don't have Trey Young. I got a lot of people. I ain't got shoes. But anyway, point is, I like Shea, but at the same time, Giddy is very good at what he does. Like he's very good. But
I just think, to me personally, bro, Giddy is like this though, bro.
And I will say this. I will say this too. The other thing outside of that is that the fact that Aiden's deal went sour, it made his trade value go back down. It made KD's trade value go back down. So the thing is, they don't have a lot of options, which is why the new report came out that they're just more willing to keep KD.
Listen, man, at this point, though, I just think that, to me, I mean, like I said, if you're not giving me up another all-star, I miss me with that, though, bro.
Yeah.
Like that's the way, if I'm the Nets, if I'm giving up a top 25 player or wherever you want to put him, all-time player, nah, bro.
Let me ask you this. Last one before we go out. If you are the owner of the Nets, would you give up Paul George and some draft picks for KD?
If I'm the Clippers, yes, I would.
I'm talking about the Nets. If you were the Nets, if the Clippers offered up Paul George and some draft picks, and
It would
maybe
have to, it would, but it, no, okay. If it's Paul George, I got to get Paul George and somebody else.
would you take
Because
Reggie Jackson?
maybe. Because here's the thing. This is my thing. One thing I don't know. Okay, that I don't know. You can tell me. You can tell me if I'm wrong. But I can't think of a guy who went from being the number one guy to being a number two guy to then going back to being a number one guy. Right. So it's like, to me, it's like once you relinquish, that's why I think with James Harden, right? James Harden is the number two guy now. I don't think that there's a scenario that you could present to me where he's going to be a credible number one. And once you concede, you will always be a number two guy.
Bradley Beal is just a number two waiting for number one to come back.
Yep. Bradley Beal to me is, I love Bradley Beal's game, right? But at some point, Bradley Beal is going to be looked at like he's a numbers mercenary, where I believe firmly, doesn't matter where you put Bradley Beal at. You can put Bradley Beal with the Clippers, you can put Bradley Beal with the Kings, or you can put him with the Wizards. You can put him with the Hornets. He's going to average 30 points because he got the game to do it. But my thing is that if he's averaging 30 something points a game, right? And he's leading, listen, it's something to be said if you could get a number two guy to average 30 points a game, right? But then it's like, you got to put him, to me, for Bradley Beal to look like a winner, you need to put Bradley Beal alongside somebody who is a leader and then say, okay, yeah, no, give us that 30. Listen, Bradley Beal's 30 points will look completely different if he played aside somebody who was a leader on the team as a number one. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I think if you put Bradley Beal with the Suns, right, and you trade Bradley Beal for Devin Booker, I bet you the Suns would have won and beat at least the Mavs. I just think that Bradley Beal is that dope, but I just think that his 30 points, he's gonna give you that rolling out the bed, bro.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's about it, bro. It got me some new thigh meat shorts, bro.
You short? They out there with them shorts, huh?
Yeah, man. Got the thigh meat shorts, bro.
Yeah, man. Go on, join that club, bro.
I've been rocking them though, bro. That ain't new. I mean, I was rocking mine last year before it was like a thing. So
yeah. You know what's funny? That is one of those. I think that's a funny thing about how things become a thing, right? Because I remember when I was when was it? It may have been 2 years ago when I was like, oh yeah,
2020. You was talking about you was about
2020. I was like, oh yeah, man. I've been working on my legs and get my legs right in the gym. And so yeah, once I did that, I remember people, some of the fellas was put these slick comments out here, like you know, like somebody put the old Pimp C comment under my one of my pictures. Somebody put that monkey stuff down. You embarrassing us with these, and I was just like, nah, bro.
Well, here's what's crazy. This is what's funny because when Deuce was a senior and a junior in high school, they was rolling their basketball.
Oh yeah, they was rolling them shorts. And this is what's funny. So this is my thing that's funny. I think that that's one of those things that I think that grown folks got from the kids that they picked up as
they stole it.
Yeah. Because I do remember when Landon was doing AAU, and I was just like, bro, why y'all out here with these short ass shorts? And they was like, oh, they rolled up even more.
They rolled them
and
up
they was just more. Like, and somebody said, oh no, you ain't a hooper unless you roll them on up. And I was just like, well, wait a minute then. So if I see somebody who got them rolled up, are they violating if they ain't hoopers? And they was like, yes. So I was just like, okay, you know, but once it, because I think that it is funny though how that became a thing. Because listen, every time I've been out now, and I've been out where we did a festival and we did some other things, oh man. But you'd be hard pressed to see where everybody got them legs out there though, bro.
Yeah.
So
they be calling them online. They be calling them the zaddy shorts.
Them hoochie daddies.
Yeah, them zaddies.
Well, yeah.
All right, man. Let's get on out of here, bro.
Let's do it, man.
the greatest podcast.
Can you dig it, sucker?